Liverpool news update, Salah AFCON twist, Spurs clash chaos transfer fallout big Liverpool news to kick things off today, and it all revolves around Mohamed Salah, the Africa Cup of Nations, and a Premier League fixture that's shaping up to be absolute chaos. Liverpool head into the weekend preparing for a tough away trip to Tottenham Hotspur, but Arne Slot's squad is already feeling the strain. Injuries, suspensions, and international call-ups mean both sides could be missing a combined 15 first-team players, turning this fixture into one of the most unpredictable games of the season. And while Salah's AFCON absence was expected, a surprising new prediction suggests his time away from Anfield might be shorter than feared. Let's break it all down. Salah's AFCON journey could be cut short. Mohamed Salah has officially joined up with Egypt ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations, ruling him out of Liverpool's immediate Premier League plans. The Egyptian captain departs at a time when Liverpool are trying to build momentum after an inconsistent start to the season. However, while Egypt are one of the tournament favorites on paper, new predictive modeling has raised eyebrows. According to data simulations, Egypt are expected to navigate the group stage, but could suffer a shock exit in the round of 16, potentially falling to Comoros in a narrow defeat. If that scenario plays out, Salah could be back in contention sooner than anticipated. Liverpool face Arsenal on January 8th, which would likely come too early for his return, but a potential FA Cup tie against Barnsley on January 12th could realistically see him back in red. That would be a major boost for Slot, who is already struggling to rotate his forward line. Liverpool's season so far, promise, then problems. Liverpool's campaign began with optimism, with early performances suggesting they could mount a serious title challenge. But that promise quickly faded as defensive lapses and squad instability led to a damaging run of defeats. While recent wins, including a vital victory over Brighton, have steadied the ship, the Reds currently sit outside the Champions League places and cannot afford further slip-ups. Salah's public frustration earlier in the season only added to the tension. Reduced minutes and tactical changes left the forward feeling isolated, and his absence now puts even more pressure on a squad already stretched thin. Spurs clash, Liverpool hit by injury crisis. Liverpool's trip to North London is shaping up to be a survival test. Connor Bradley returns from suspension, but that's where the good news ends. Joe Gomez is expected to miss the match after limping off with a hamstring issue, while Dominik Szoboszlai remains a doubt following an ankle problem sustained against Brighton. Wataru Endo and Cody Gakpo are both sidelined, and Salah's AFCON departure removes Liverpool's biggest attacking threat. At best, Slot may have only 13 senior outfield players available. Tottenham aren't faring much better. Spurs are facing their own injury nightmare, with multiple first-team players unavailable, leaving Thomas Frank under intense pressure after just one league win in 7 matches. Match outlook. Spurs versus Liverpool. Despite their struggles, Tottenham remain dangerous at home. They've scored in most of their league matches this season and rarely collapse defensively, even in defeat. Liverpool, however, hold the psychological edge. They've won 6 of the last 8 meetings across all competitions and demolished Spurs 5-1 in their most recent encounter. Both teams tend to score when these sides meet, and recent form suggests another open, high-intensity contest. With defensive depth lacking on both sides, goals could be inevitable. Transfer news. Guehi deal off the table. For now, Liverpool's summer interest in Crystal Palace defender Marc Guehi nearly turned into a deal, but negotiations broke down late on. Palace manager Oliver Glasner has now confirmed that the defender is expected to remain at Selhurst Park until at least the end of the season. While Liverpool may revisit the deal in the future, January looks unlikely. Club insiders have suggested that earlier negotiations could have made the difference, but timing ultimately killed the move. Slot and sporting director Richard Hughes will need to look elsewhere if defensive reinforcements are required. Former Reds lone nightmare sparks recall calls. One Liverpool player whose season has gone under the radar is Harvey Elliott, currently on loan at Aston Villa. Despite a deal that includes a significant obligation to buy, Elliott has barely featured, raising serious questions about the move. Former Liverpool players have already urged the club to consider recalling him, especially given the Reds' lack of depth off the bench. With injuries piling up, Elliott's creativity and versatility could be exactly what Liverpool need during this congested period. AFCON Spotlight: Salah versus the critics. This AFCON carries extra meaning for Salah. With Jamie Carragher recently questioning his international trophy record, the Egyptian forward has plenty of motivation to prove a point. Egypt are the most successful nation in AFCON history, but Salah has yet to lift the trophy. This tournament could be his chance to silence critics, though Premier League teammates from rival clubs will be eager to stop him. In total, 32 Premier League players are competing at AFCON, with several English clubs heavily impacted. Liverpool, by comparison, are among the least affected, though losing Salah alone changes everything. Tactical shift: life after Salah. For now, Slot now faces a defining tactical challenge. Without Salah and with Gakpo injured, Liverpool's attacking options are limited, but not non-existent. Recent matches suggest a two-striker system could unlock Liverpool's best football. Hugo Ekitike and Alexander Isak, signed for a combined fee of around $270 million, may finally be unleashed together. Florian Wirtz drifting inside from the left has shown flashes of brilliance, while Curtis Jones continues to thrive in advanced midfield roles. This could be the first glimpse of Liverpool's long-term future, a system built for the post-Salah era. Contract concern: Konate future in doubt. Away from the pitch, Liverpool face a growing concern over Ibrahima Konate's contract. The French defender is approaching the final year of his deal, and failure to secure an extension could leave the club vulnerable to losing him for nothing. With injuries already depleting defensive options, securing Konate's future has become a priority. One potential solution could come from Bournemouth. Marco Senesi, a former Arne slot captain at YNWA, is set to become a free agent. Known to both Slot and Hughes, Senesi could represent smart business, either in January or next summer. Final thoughts: Liverpool season is entering a critical phase. Salah's absence, mounting injuries, and a congested fixture list have created real challenges, but also opportunity. If Slot can navigate this period successfully, Liverpool could emerge stronger, more flexible, and better prepared for the future. And if Salah returns earlier than expected, that could change everything.